Before you stands an old, haggard man in his 50s, maybe 60s. He doesn't look Westerosi, nor does he look like a beggar. Intrigued, you ask him about the map. The old man gave you a smile the gods would be afraid of. Your Grace, it has come to my attention that you are looking for a way to acquire a valyrian steel weapon. As it happens, I have a map in my possession that may help you with your ambition. But before we continue, may I ask for an alcoholic refreshment? Your priest, obviously annoyed, quickly asks, "Why do you need alcohol?" This old man looks a bit down on his feet, waits a few seconds, and refocuses back on you. "Well, my lords, because no great story ever started with someone eating a salad. You had my curiosity, but now you have my full attention." Well, before we get started on this quest, I'm going to transfer over Prince Atreus, my brother, to my guardianship, and I would like to be able to force him to train. He's 13, he has no fighting skill. Oh, wow, I don't have a very good chance of success with this. I guess it's because my fighting skill is not particularly high. I did want to address one thing. In the last episode, everybody was talking about how I broke a truce and, blah, 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 how that was bad and everything. And I agree with you. Totally agree with you. However, -5 diplomacy for 10 years is worth it to be rid of Rosby once and for all. It was kind of a bugaboo in the back of my head. And so, yeah, not something I was super excited about, but also not something I was terribly worried about. I mean, obviously, King Valor is more focused on his fighting ability and his commanding ability rather than his diplomacy. 30 martial, and 4 diplomacy is not nearly as bad. And I will call your attention back to the previous generations of kings, and I guess they weren't even really kings at that point. But Valor's grandfather, who's not listed in this game because of the time warp, but the original Valor Bear was not a very good statistically character, and also broke a truce and ended up with like -1 diplomacy. Of course, it was 0, but you understand where I'm going with this. Before he got sent to the wall and died up there. So yeah, that is okay by me, and we'll deal with it whenever it comes. We'll fix it if the time comes right. But having the traits that we do, and having the stuff that we do for diplomacy will be fine for right now, and we'll work it out as we go. But obviously, the more important task at hand. The old man tells you he's certain about the location of the valyrian steel you seek. He points to it on the map and appears convinced. No doubt the journey there will be long, arduous, and very dangerous, but purchasing the map and following it could yet yield great reward. I'm ready and prepared to undertake this for sure. 100 gold is not ideal, but it is what it is, and I do want to make sure everything is in line before we get to the point where we're struggling. So we're not going to have levies raised for quite a while, so that should fix that. We won't hold a melee because we won't be in town for much longer. 1 week claim can be pressed. Okay, so the next couple steps, just to kind of let everybody know, is 1, to deal with the Dusklands right here, House Darkland and the Shadow Kings right here of Duskendale. We are going to subjugate them next, and that'll kind of take care of that. And after that, we should have a son or a lord, depending on how long this takes, with claims right here on this kingdom of Maidenpool, or the Bay of Claws. So that should be able to take care of that. The reason we should have claims is because I am married, if I'm not mistaken, to this guy's sister's daughter. I can't remember. Married to somebody in this line. Somebody that will yield claims, I'm pretty sure. And if not, then we'll just fabricate claims and keep on moving. But the goal now is not to disband the kingdoms if we can help it, is to kind of keep the kingdom tier titles so that eventually we can be like the Rock is, and like the Stormlands, and like the Reach, where it's an empire tier kingdom title, if that makes any sense. Basically an empire, and have our own Lord Paramounts and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's where we're going with this. I hope we can make this work. Ooh, we do have Valyrians here on Dragonstone. House Raucus, I'm going to assume that's pronounced. And this dude looks really cool. Oh, but we have slave traders. It was very fertile too. Wow. Okay. Well, that's good. That's at least closer, in proximity than they have been. But yeah, so that is where we are at. Did I did. I gave the High Lordship to this guy, right? I did. High Lordship of Rosby. Cool. But yeah, that is where we're at. I'm going to keep on pressing forward. Oh, there is one more thing I wanted to do. It was suggested to me that the Kingdom of Ursidae does not sound like a kingdom would be in Westeros. And I guess that's true, because you have the Rock, the North, the Reach, the Stormlands. Dorne is an exception. The Riverlands, the Vale. So we're going to change this per a very astute suggestion to the Woods. And I'm going to leave the adjective as the same. It's just makes more sense that way. But the Kingdom of the Woods right here in the center of Westeros is now founded. I love it. It looks so good right now. And I still need to work out getting that coat of arms changed for the kingdom, but that's a little more difficult than you would expect. And I'll make a tutorial on that as we're going. I'll show you all exactly how I did it in that episode, so you will be able to do the same thing for your kingdom, for your custom house. I do need to work out because all of these sigils are just so wrong. Like, that is the Baratheon, or the Baratheon Lannister. Ooh, the red wines are Kings of the Reach now. Huh. Interesting. I don't think I can subjugate any of these guys, because technically they're independent, but they're not. So yeah. Okay. Well, that is it. We can continue on with our quest for a Valyrian steel sword now. I'm excited. Okay, whilst preparing for the journey, your priest suggests you should take someone with you. Your Grace, I have assembled a group of people who are at the top of their respective fields and would be suitable to accompany you on your quest. So a great warrior named Fashbinder, a sailor named Daffin, a comely healer, a learned person named Emberly, and an old man. I think we will do the sailor and navigator. I always typically do the great warrior, just for the fact that we get a formidable fighter in our court. But I know it is always possible to end up in a duel with this guy, and it's that's not ideal going forward. So I don't want to make a mistake and end up dying on this quest. So a sailor and navigator. Your Grace, King Florian is essentially the dowry that was due, and I must say it was most generous. Oh, 200 gold. That's perfect. That's going to go right towards our sword quest. Amazing. Okay. A ship will be required to travel across the leagues of sea to our destination, and through the dangers that will no doubt arise. Therefore, it is time to go down to the docks to choose a vessel. We will do a large warship. It'll take a year to build, but we will be looking for that to come up here pretty quickly. Uh-oh, this guy's a torturer. Interesting. 22 martial's pretty good for a trained fighter. Base of 13, wow, okay. You know what, this girl... I'm gonna release her. I really don't. I don't want to. I don't need the favor, but Oh, look. Prince Alex, that's amazing. Has Rowdy. This kid's gonna be good. I need to be his educator too. For a little while, and then we'll put him under a formidable fighter. Actually, I should probably let him go ahead and be under the formidable fighter if we have that. We should have at least one, right? We would if I would have picked Fashbinder, that's for sure. No, we don't. That's okay though. I will take it from there. So I have both of my brothers. It's both of my brothers. We're gonna ignore that this guy even exists, even though he is the son of King Aegon. He was in another court when he was born, and I've had like zero interaction with him. It was like very very quickly after King Aegon died. Lady Theona, his wife, went to another court, and so yeah, this is my half brother, but not really. Not really at all. So yeah. Oh, there's Princess Kyra. Grey Eminence. I love it. Yeah, she's gonna be awesome. But she's regularly betrothed to King Thorin. So we'll have to see what that develops. But that should actually bring the Stormlands into alliance, I would think. Maybe not. They might be about to lose it. Another Andal claim. Walder of Walder's host, William of William's hosts, Janos of Janos' hosts, Tymond of Tymon's host, and Thaddeus of Thaddeus' host. So that is 6 Andal invasions simultaneously. This dude is getting wrecked. I'm gonna wait. How long does he have? Okay, we have like another year before he can marry. I really don't want to get called into a war. Hopefully that war ends before any of the other ones do. Armistead of Bonewatch. So hopefully that... oh man, hopefully that ends and we can at least have a claim to take back the Stormlands. That would actually be better than actually marrying into the kingdom of the Stormlands. If we had a claim in our court. But anyways, all that said, it makes more sense for us to just hold off on performing the marriage until that war is over, so we don't get dragged into some war in the south. So, okay. Let's advance. Let's wait this year out, and let's hope that it ends quickly, because I'm so excited about this sword quest. Okay, we haven't quite gotten to the point where the ship is built yet, but let's interject and take a look at something really quick. We have claims on the lordship of Wolfsten up in the north, but we also have a claim on the high lordship of Massey's Hook, right here. And that kind of eats into the Stormlands a little bit. I don't know that I want to press it quite yet, but I do think that it's interesting because we could actually take it and it would become a part of our kingdom. I don't like our kingdom divided like that, though. So that is always interesting, and I wonder if they would even accept an offer of vassalization. No, they wouldn't, because he's a High Lord. Okay, well, that's something to keep an eye on for sure, and I wonder if there's anyone with claims on Duskendale that we can just go ahead and invite to our court. That would actually make it a lot easier to go ahead and have that claim in there. Same thing with the Blackwoods. I don't know exactly how to determine that. I guess I would just have to scroll through all the characters that would come to court that would have claims. I don't know, that would take a really long time. Anyways, yeah, that's just something to take a look at for sure. Here we go, The Departed. The ship is docked and fully loaded, and crewed, ready to depart on our quest. Daphne is alongside you on the bridge as you give the command to coast off. You make a joke about naval life, because why wouldn't we? on an overseas quest for just a little bit. Hopefully, we come back with a Valyrian steel sword. After many weeks of sailing the seas, you are growing bored. Perhaps something can be done with Daffin to pass the time. I will read a book. I have a selection of books stored on the ship to read. The Lusty Tyrosian Maid. I gain 10% fertility. Naval Signals and Etiquette. That'll be good for our relationship with Daffin. Valyrian for Dummies. That may come in handy too. Review the woods accounts for last year. I can gain 1 stewardship. Not really going to do anything, just to be honest. We'll do Naval Signals and Etiquette, because I think I know what's coming up here in just a second. Also, we're going to take a look at our open counselor position. We have Erig. Or we can also do Bennett, Lord of Adadale. Let's do this guy for right now. It was also mentioned to me that a lot of our houses have, like, of Riverrun or of Adadale, and we need to fix that, and you're right, we really do. It's going to take a long time, though, because there's a lot of them. You could pretty much pick any lordship in the kingdom, and it's going to be of whatever, yeah. So, 2 for 2 there. It's going to take a long time to do that. That's a long-term goal, so to speak. But yeah, let's shoot for that one day. Oh look, I have a new nickname, the Magnanimous. The Magnanimous. It sounds like something you would use in like 1980s rap to rhyme with something. It's fantastic. Let's progress and hope that this journey is not as perilous as I'm thinking it could be. More weak claims coming in. Nope, it's the same ones as before. Atreus asks, since we all die anyways, why should we be so hassled about life? So he can gain chase and temperate, or he can gain lustful or gluttonous. Let's do one of these. Ooh, the temperate trait. He's actually turning out to be a pretty good character. He has ambitious, honest, wroth, and temperate. He also has playful. I can't force him to train because I'm away. Yeah, okay. But he is already married, so hopefully that produces a child rather quickly. She's no longer depressed, so obviously there's something going on there. She only has a little bit of fertility left, or time to bear children left, so hopefully he's able to kind of produce a child with her fairly quickly. I'm hoping we can do that, and it won't cause too many issues. But yes, next leg of the journey. Hold on. My ward Prince Alex always has his nose in the books and spends all his time amongst the priests of the old gods. Ooh, so he'll become zealous. Nice. Fantastic. Young Alex is developing an arbitrary streak. It's showing more clearly every day. He can become brave or arbitrary. Not arbitrary. We want him to become brave. Okay. The stopover. After many weeks of sailing, we finally crossed the summer sea and have arrived in the port of Volantis to take on supplies. This is when you tell the men you intend to sail into the smoking sea. Not really. In search of old Valyria. Not really, because Valyria is still a thing. As the old man's map instructs to do. Many balk at this and desert, but others, including the trusty Daffin, remain loyal. More worthy men willing to take the risk can be hired anyways. To pass the time whilst the ship is resupplied, you and Daffin visit a local tavern. The atmosphere is raucous and friendly, but a group of hardened-looking sailors, clearly oblivious to your ranks and status, take a disliking to Daffin. They're throwing insults at him and slighting his honor. So we could take this outside, a brawl ensues, or I can make Daffin unhappy. We're strong and obviously not very good at diplomacy, so we're going to take this outside. Bring it on. Outside the tavern, you and Daffin have a fierce fist fight with the drunken sailors. You're outnumbered, but you and Daffin manage to break a few teeth and spill some blood before you're in turn beaten. Oh man, 82% chance we gain 25 prestige, 15% chance we get wounded, 3% chance we die, and Davin dies. But Davin has plus 10 opinion of us for 60 months. Okay, bring it on. We didn't die. We gained a little prestige instead. The ship has set sail again, bound for the Smoking Sea. This sea was created by the shattered remains of Valyria after the Doom, that hasn't happened yet, and is now filled with volcanoes, not really, and smoking stacks of rock. The men are apprehensive. Some say it boils in places and is haunted by demons. These myths are no danger because they don't exist. Set course. So we're moving forward with this. Good. Winter is coming to an end, so we can use some of that gold whenever we get back. The sea was calm, and no dangers had been encountered, lulling us into a false sense of safety. This calm was broken when a huge kraken attacked the ship. It was thought that they were just a myth, but this monstrous giant squid is very real. It is wrapping its tentacles around the ship, furiously trying to pull the ship and crew to the bottom of the sea. Wow. 94% chance the kraken is slain, 6% chance the kraken devours our longships. Those are pretty good odds, but I've seen the RNG in this game before, and it definitely lures us into a false sense of security. So let's just cross our fingers and click ahead. We did it. The Kraken pulled many of the men into the sea to their deaths, but our attacks managed to free the ship from its grasp and scare it off. 5% chance I'll get maimed. 10% chance I'm wounded. 85% chance no effect. Wow, we're maimed. That's fantastic.